Hello, everyone. John Bruna here with the Daily Quotes. Do hope you are having a good weekend, that you're taking good care of yourselves and good care of those around you. Let's go ahead and get to the quote. Many of our current perceptions about ourselves are outdated, unexplored, and stem from our childhood. It is up to us to continue to test our self-perception. If we do, we will find many untapped abilities and potentials within us. This is such an important lesson. We have an image of ourselves. We have descriptions of ourselves about what kind of person we are, what our abilities are, what we're not very good at. And so many of those have been actually created in early childhood, whether we're funny, whether we're interesting, whether we're smart, whether we're good at math, or whatever it is that we think about ourselves. There's this parable of the elephant, and it's actually to some degree true with elephants. You'll see elephants that have been trained and controlled by humans, and clearly elephants are much bigger, stronger, can do what they want. And the analogy is seeing an elephant that has its leg chained to a little stake in the ground. And the elephant's strong enough to pull that stake out and walk away. But it was trained at an early age when it was young. It couldn't. They had it staked down. It was hurt if it tried to pull, and it learned at an early age that it was tethered to this little stake in the ground. In fact, they actually use these incredible training methods to, they call them hurt boxes, which is actually pretty brutal. But the system's the same. At a young age, the elephant learns it cannot pull the stake out of the ground and can't walk away. It hurts. And then it becomes much older, bigger, stronger. It's very capable. It could just pull it out and walk away, but by now it's learned that it can't. And so in the parable of the elephant, what they point out is that we have many chains in our lives that have tied us down, that have restricted us, that we learned when we were young, and uh, and they've been reinforced over the years. And what we get to do today is we get to pull on those little chains and maybe find out we're not restrained. We might be good at things we didn't think we were good at. We can be free of these binds that have been created, that have staked us down, that have limited us. That in truth, we're actually always becoming. We're always becoming. We can learn new things. We can develop more skills. We're not who we once were. And it's important to test some of these views about ourselves. A lot of times, people, tell me I'm not a patient person. And I say, well, have you ever been patient? And go, wait, I have been patient. Well, then are you an impatient person when you're patient? And they're like, well, not at those moments, but at other moments. And then they may discover that there's a lot of times in their life they are not impatient. Matter of fact, most of their life they're not impatient. They're just impatient sometimes. So here's this narrative that we have in our minds. So I invite you to remember that you're always becoming, you're always capable of learning new things and developing skills. It's never too late. And maybe it's a good idea to test some of the narratives that we have about ourselves and our abilities. And we might discover we have a lot more capacity than we thought and a lot of untapped potential. It's important to pull on those chains and see if we can't free ourselves. Hope you find this helpful.